Postmark for Danger is a 1955 crime drama mystery, originally released as Portrait of Allison. A woman's painted portrait and a postcard with a sketch of a woman's hand holding a Chianti bottle are the main clues used by the Scotland Yard to solve a string of murders connected to a diamond smuggling ring. Directed by Guy Green, it stars Robert Beatty, Terry Moore, and William Sylvester. This film begins rather inauspiciously, but our advice is to stick with it. You see a car plunge off a cliff and explode. A rather cliched scene. But it does get better. There are both weird and explainable things that occur, and there are a few predictable moments. Much of the picture is not predictable and will keep you guessing. And what about all the strange twists? Well, we'll say no more as we don't want to spoil the many surprises. Well acted and well done. And well worth seeing. Enjoy the movie.
Must be one of the most awkward poses you ever dreamed up, Tim Forrester.
It's what the client wants.
Just what am I supposed to be holding in my hand? A flaming torch?
A bottle of beer. Bering's bottled beer, the cheerful glassful.
What's this costume to do with beer?
Well, men drink beer, men like pin-ups. Ipso facto, pin-ups sell beer.
Men. Beasts.
All right.
Finished?
For today.
Oh, I suppose I've still got the use of my arm. You know, you oughtn't to be wasting your time doing this sort of stuff, Tim.
At 50 pounds a throw, I'd hardly call it wasting my time.
I'd hardly call it earning a living, either.
Am I complaining?
I still think you could do better. I've seen a lot of artists at work in the last few years, and if my judgment is anything to go by...
Which it isn't.
I still think you're wasting your time.
Would I be wasting my time if I asked you to stay and have dinner?
Which means I do the cooking.
Okay, so we'll go out someplace.
Either way, I can't. I have a date tonight.
Oh, all right.
Why didn't you ask me yesterday?
Because I wasn't hungry yesterday.
You're always too late, aren't you, Tim? You've missed out on me all the way down the line.
Now, what do you mean by that?
Nothing.
Who's your date?
Henry Carmichael.
I wonder what he does for a living.
All I know is he's rolling in money. As far as I'm concerned, that makes him the most eligible man of the year.
Has he proposed yet?
Not yet.
But he will, huh?
Oh, my technique is very rusty.
Your weapons may be very old, honey, but your technique rusty? Never in a million years.
Talk of the devil.
Impatient, isn't he?
Oh, he hates to be kept waiting. Same time tomorrow?
Yes, I suppose so.
Henry, you brought another car. You mad, impulsive creature.
What took you so long?
I had to change. You should have seen the ridiculous costume I was wearing.
The sooner you give up all this nonsense, the better.
Darling, the girl's got to earn her living.
Yes, well, that may not go on much longer.
Henry, that was a proposal. A darling.
Well, now, where would you like to eat?
Why don't we just go round to your place and have a nice, quiet snack?
All right.
Hi, Dave. What's new?
Tim, I've got bad news.
Oh, don't tell me. You've had another letter from your bank manager. How much is it this time?
Tim, listen, it's about Lewis. His car crashed in Italy.
You know, I think I've got two of the screwiest brothers in the whole world. What with you flying all over Europe and Lewis in his fast cars, this is the third time he's hit something this year.
Tim, Lewis is dead.
What?
He skidded over a cliff. His car caught fire.
Lewis? Dead? Oh, I don't believe it, Dave. Where'd you get this from?
I've just come from his paper. They called the police in Milan.
Our Rome correspondent, Louis Forrester, was killed yesterday when his car crashed at Porretta on the road to Milan. Louis Forrester was in his early 30s.
It must have happened very quickly, Tim.
Stupid, crazy idiot.
I'm flying out there tonight.
I'm going with you.
There's no point in you going, Tim. Besides, I said I'd take a guy called Fenby from the Gazette. They're being pretty swell about the whole thing. The paper's paying the funeral expenses and everything. Hello?
Is that Mr. Forrester?
Yeah, speaking.
This is Fenby of the Gazette.
Oh, hello, Fenby.
Mr. Forrester, I just wanted to check with you what time you're taking off for Milan.
In a couple of hours. I'll pick up about 7.
Oh, thanks.
By the way, we've had another report from Milan. It seems there was someone else in the car with your brother.
Oh? Who?
Mr. Officer Beatty.
No, I've never heard of her.
I just thought you might have.
Well, what about this girl?
Before you get my last call with him,
Oh. Okay, then. 7. Goodbye.
A girl?
In the car with Lewis.
Who was it?
An actress called Allison Ford. Do you know her?
Alison Ford. Huh? Also killed?
I'm so sorry, Signor Forrester, but there is nothing more I can tell you. You have seen the body so horribly burnt that there was an accident. Your brother was killed. Investigations continue.
Okay, well, thanks. I won't delay your work any further. You've been very kind.
Oh, prego, prego.
Thank you. We'd better be getting along.
Buongiorno. Allora, ancora una volta.
Così.
E questo è tutto?
Sì, signor capitano, è tutto.
Ed è indirizzata a Londra?
Sì, signor capitano, a Londra.
Pronto? Questura inglese, Londra. Sì.
That came in from the Amsterdam police this morning. De Groot arrived there by plane yesterday.
The day before that, he was in Milan.
And we know that he contacted Arturo in Milan.
And Arturo is a member of the ring?
That's right.
Why haven't the Italian police picked him up?
They did this morning. Lying in the gutter with his throat cut. The Italian police think he was killed because he sold information about the ring to Louis Forrester.
And now he's dead?
Yes.
Yes?
Milan police calling Inspector Colby.
I'll take it to my office.
Put it through to Inspector Colby's office, will you?
Right.
Milan police.
Oh, no. Inspector Colby speaking. Who? Buongiorno.
I have spoken to the concierge at the hotel where you stay, and it seems Signor Forrester posted a card to London the same day he died.
Who to in London?
This we do not know.
Do you know what was on the card?
Because
What was on the card?
there was nothing on the card, only
How you say? A sketch, a drawing.
A drawing? What of?
a bottle.
A bottle?
See, a bottle of Chianti and a woman's hand.
Can you describe it?
La bottiglia è tenuta in mano?
Sì, in mano, sì.
The bottle, she was held in this woman's hand.
And that's all?
Si.
Ah. All right. Thank you. Grazie.
Oh, di niente.
What about Forrester's car? Find anything?
In my automobiles.
Uh-huh. All right. Thank you. Arrivederci. If Louis Forrester were to send a card to someone in London, who do you think he'd send it to?
Doesn't that depend on the card, sir? After all, there are some postcards you just can't send to some people. Well, sir, he might have sent it to his newspaper.
Yeah, check on that.
Or one of his brothers.
Isn't one of them an artist?
Yes, sir, we've got his address.
Call my car.
B6 Transport. What did the Italian police say about Forrester's car, sir?
The track rod had been almost sawn in half.
Inspector Colby's car, please. Right away. And it wasn't an accident.
Did you think it was, Sergeant?
Well, this seems to be the end of my career as a famous model.
Oh, how'd you get on last night? Did you get a proposal or just a proposition?
I'll have you know you're talking to the future Mrs. Henry Carmichael.
Good for you.
Yes, I suppose it is.
Now, don't tell me you're changing your mind.
No, just my way of life. No more parties, no more fun, no more anything.
Nothing but eternal boredom with all that filthy money, huh?
Are you pleased with it?
Not really.
I don't know how you can concentrate at all after what's happened.
Somebody's got to pay the rent.
Perhaps you'd feel better if you'd gone to Italy with Dave.
Maybe.
Well, goodbye, Tim.
Good luck, Joe.
Just a little something to remember me by.
Oh, here, I nearly forgot. Your wages.
Well, a £5 note. I'll have it framed.
Fancy you forgetting that.
I owe you 16 shillings.
I'll lie awake at night worrying about it.
Mr. Forrester?
Yes?
I'm Inspector Colby. Scotland Yard.
Oh.
Well, I'll be running along. Goodbye.
Attractive girl.
Yes.
Your fiancée?
She works for me.
Nice work.
Well, what can I do for you, Inspector?
I'm sorry to start nosing around so soon. I know how you must feel about your brother.
Well, I don't quite see really how I can help you much. You probably know as much about it as I do. There was an accident and he was killed. A cigarette?
No, thank you very much. Every accident has to be investigated, Mr. Forrester. There may be insurance claims, you see.
Oh, yes, of course.
When did you last hear from your brother?
Well, it was about a week ago. He sent me a card from Rome.
Could I see it?
Sure, if I can find it.
Thank you very much. What about your other brother, the pilot? When do you expect him back from Italy?
In a day or so, I think.
Does he live here with you?
Off and on. He's away most of the time. He has his own charter air service, running flowers in from France, that sort of thing. Here it is.
The weather is great, the wine is cheap, and the women sensational. Regards, Louis. Short, but to the point.
What's that supposed to be?
What does it look like to you, Mr. Forrester?
Like a bad sketch of a hand holding a bottle.
I'm a policeman, not an artist.
You can say that again.
It's a Chianti bottle.
So?
Mean anything to you?
Should it?
Ever receive a card like that from your brother?
No. Why?
I see. Well, if you'll excuse me. Sorry to have taken up your time.
Aren't we being just a bit mysterious, Inspector? What's all this about?
We happen to know that your brother posted a card with a sketch like that onto someone in London. I just thought it might have been you, that's all.
But what's a postcard got to do with Lewis's death?
I'll tell you that when we find it, Mr. Forrester.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Forrester. I have an appointment with Mr. John Smith.
Oh, yes, he is expecting you. Joe.
Mr. Forrester, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sit down, Mr. Forrester. Help yourself to a drink.
Well, thank you. Not just now.
Music interests you, Mr. Forrester?
Some music.
The voice of the nightingale. Do you know it?
No, I'm afraid I don't. You see, I don't get much time for music.
I see.
You said something on the phone about a portrait, Mr. Smith.
Huh? Oh, yes, I did. Have you ever painted from a photograph, Mr. Forrester?
Yes. It's not very creative, but it can be done.
I want you to paint a picture of my daughter from a photograph.
Oh, would it not be possible for her to sit for me, just a couple of times even?
No, Mr. Forrester, it won't be possible. I'll get the photographs. Here they are.
She's very beautiful.
Yes, she was. She was killed 2 days ago in a car crash in Italy.
You don't mean...
Yes. She was in that car with your brother.
I thought that girl's name was Allison Ford.
She called herself Ford when she decided to take up acting. Smith's a very ordinary name, isn't it?
But how did you come to get in touch with me?
Through your brother Lewis. The three of us dined together in Rome about a week ago. It was the last time I saw him. He told me you were a very good painter.
Lewis? He wouldn't know the difference between Rembrandt and a house painting.
He was a fine boy.
Yes. That's the one I'd like to work from.
Pink dress. She was very fond of it.
You couldn't get hold of it, I suppose, could you?
Yes, I think so.
All right, Mr. Smith, if you can let me have the dress, I'll do the portrait.
Good.
wait a minute, please.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, and keep your covetous hands off that dress, young lady.
Darling, it's sensational. I'd slay them in this at Sierra's.
I'll slay you if you knock that dummy over. You want some coffee?
Oh, no, thank you.
Say, you're looking pretty sharp yourself. New dress?
And a new hat you like?
It's ridiculous.
It costs 15 guineas. Hats don't grow on trees, you know.
That one looks as if it did. So old Moneybags Henry's paying off already, huh? What's this? More loot?
Oh, no, that's something of Henry's. A man brought it round to my flat this morning.
That's a funny thing to do.
Well, Henry lives in Esher, and as I'm having lunch with him, I suppose he thought it was the easiest way of getting it.
Well, what are you doing here, anyway? I thought we'd already bid each other a fond farewell.
I came to fetch my dressing gown. And my makeup box. And my umbrella. Who's that? New model?
Just a girl I'm painting.
She's not bad. Well, I mustn't waste the entire morning. If you should find any more of my stuff, you might... Why, I forgot I owe you 16 shillings.
Oh, forget it.
When's Dave coming back?
Tonight, I'm meeting him at the airport at 9.
Well, give him my love, will you? Bye.
Bye. See you in the gossip columns. Jill! Jill! Hey, Jill! Jill! What happened to Fenby?
Oh, he had a deadline to make or something. Didn't want to wait.
I was on time, wasn't it?
Yeah, sure. Boy, it's been a couple of the grimmest days I've ever had in my life. You know, identifying the body was the worst part. Tim, I hardly recognized him.
Were you able to find out exactly what happened?
No, you can't find out anything from those Italian cops. All they do is talk, and they don't say nothing. I guess it was just one of those things. Sharp bend, fast car, a couple of drinks.
Lewis drunk? He must be nuts.
And that's what I told them.
Why, he hardly touched the stuff. You know that, Dave.
Sure, I know it, but, well, it's not impossible.
Dave, was Lewis mixed up in anything?
What do you mean, mixed up?
Well, the police have been around to see me.
Oh, about what?
Something about a card that he's supposed to have sent to someone in London.
A card?
Yeah. Evidently it had a drawing on it, a drawing of a Chianti bottle in the woman's hand.
Well, that sounds crazy.
I don't get it either.
Got the door open again. The way you trust everybody. Well, if I can hit that hay fast. You know, I've been in the air 7 hours. We were going to stop down in Paris. What's the matter?
It's gone.
Gone? What's gone?
Oh, the dress. On the photo.
What dress?
Oh, look at this. Someone's painted the face out.
Oh, is that what it is? I thought it was just an example of modern art.
Who is it anyhow?
That screwball model you've always got hanging around here?
Allison Ford.
Alison Ford?
Well, Father asked me to paint it. It's nearly finished, too.
Well, how could you?
Oh, I had a photo of her. She was very beautiful.
Not when I saw her stretched out in a slab in Milan.
Now, who the heck would want to do a thing like that?
Alison Ford's ghost? Maybe she just didn't like your style. Well, what do you know about that? I left my pajamas back at that hotel in Milan. Got a pair you could lend me?
Sure.
You know, I must have left pajamas in all the principal cities of Europe. I guess me and Mr. Freud just don't like pajamas.
Dave! Dave, come here.
What is it?
It's Jill. She's wearing the dress.
What's the score?
Manual strangulation.
When?
About 2 hours ago.
8 o'clock.
Any more on the body, sir?
No, you can cover the room.
Will you take care of this, or shall I?
We'll do it. Sergeant!
I'll get my report in the morning.
Good night. Good night.
Yes, sir?
Phone for the van, will you?
Yes, sir.
Some smudges here, sir. Could have been made by somebody wearing gloves.
You better check the body while we still have it.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see how far we've got. The girl's name is Jill Stewart. She modeled for you. You last saw her this afternoon about... What time was it again?
Just before lunch.
Ah, yes. You left here around 5 to buy some paints or something, is that right?
Yes.
You didn't come back here. You went straight to the airport to meet your brother. You got there at 9, came back here and found her dead, correct?
Right.
Well, that seems pretty straightforward.
Does it?
Well, apart from a few details that we need to check.
And what about the dress? How come she's wearing Allison Ford's dress?
How come you have Alison Ford's dress, Mr. Forrester?
But I told you.
Oh, yes, the portrait. Pretty difficult to do a portrait of someone you've never seen, isn't it?
I had a photograph.
Where is it?
I don't know. It was here when I left.
Did anyone else see it?
Yes.
Who?
Jill Stewart.
Anyway, it was here when you left, but it had gone when you came back. In fact, a lot of things happened between the time you left and came back again. What was Alison Ford's father's name again?
Smith. John Smith.
John Smith.
He's staying at the Mayflower Hotel. You only have to phone him.
We will, Mr. Forrester, we will.
Well, I've covered pretty well everything, sir.
All right, good night.
Good night, sir.
I may seem a bit dense, but about this dress. You say it was on that dummy when you left.
Yes?
When you came back, it was on the dead woman.
Yes.
And presumably she must have come in while you were out and changed into the dress.
Obviously.
Why should she?
Well, I don't know.
And if she changed here, where is the dress she was wearing when she came to the studio? Her own dress, in fact.
What does it matter what she was wearing when she died? She's dead. Someone killed her. What's so important about a dress?
I don't know. But your brother seems to think it's important. Does this belong to you?
No? What is it?
It's a bird in a cage.
It's part of a charm bracelet.
Did Jill Stewart have one of those things?
I've never seen her wearing one.
How long have you known her, Mr. Forrester?
About 6 months.
I suppose you saw a good deal of her.
Naturally. I was painting her. I don't paint with my eyes shut.
Look, Inspector, isn't this all very simple? If you think Tim had something to do with this, then all you have to do is check up on where he was this afternoon. That shouldn't be difficult.
Well, that wouldn't do any good. I was all over the place. Buying oils at Reason's, canvases in Chelsea.
And around 7, where were you?
7? I don't know. Driving around, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's not much of an alibi. But do I need one? Are you seriously suggesting that I killed that girl?
I haven't suggested anything, Mr. Forrester. But let's face it, she was found on your bed in your flat. In there. Is this your parcel?
No. Jill left it behind this morning. She was taking it to her fiancé, Carmichael.
Oh? How long had she been engaged to this man?
2 or 3 days.
Uh-huh. Do you mind if I open this?
Would it make any difference if I did?
A great deal. I'd have to apply for a search warrant, and that takes time.
Let's save time, by all means.
Thank you. All right, Joe. Let's see the label. What do you make of it, Joe?
Printed in England, the space left at the top for the wine merchant to overprint his own name. A perfectly ordinary label.
Except there isn't a wine merchant named Nightingale in the country. Infrared test.
I'll show you. Just a standard watermark.
Any prints on the bottle, John?
Yes, sir. Sergeant Haynes.
Jack?
Sir.
I want blow-ups of this label distributed through Interpol to every police force in Europe.
Right, sir.
Oh, Inspector, Mr. Forrester's here.
Right. Keep all this stuff, Joe. You never know.
Right, sir.
Next time, Sergeant, keep your paws off the exhibits.
Sorry, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Forrester.
Hello.
Sit down.
Thank you.
Canteen, please. Would you like some tea?
No, thanks.
Coffee here. It's 11:05. Right. And try and get it here before it goes cold, will you? Thank you. Well, now, what was it you wanted to see me about?
Well, you sent for me.
Oh, yes, yes. Did anyone show you the statement you made last night?
Yes.
Is there anything you want to alter?
No.
Anything you'd like to add?
No.
You don't want to amend your story about this man Smith?
No, why should I?
No reason at all. They do say the taller the story, the more likely it is to be true. But just the same, doesn't it strike you as being a little coincidental, shall we say? That this woman, Allison Ford, was killed along with your brother. But 2 days later, her father, Mr. Smith, asked you to paint a portrait. Gives you a photograph, which has now mysteriously vanished, and a dress belonging to his daughter, which turns up on the body of a woman found dead in your studio.
I don't suppose it ever occurred to you to check with Smith?
Most anxious to. Your Mr. Smith left his hotel yesterday afternoon. Thank you. I don't relish the idea of trying to track down a man by the name of Smith. Where would you, Mr. Foster? Dishwater, but hot. You sure you won't have some?
Look, you think I killed Jill Stewart, don't you? All right, well, just tell me one thing. Why? Why should I want to kill her?
Suppose you tell me.
Now, remember now, I didn't like the way she made coffee, so I bumped her off.
It's funny you should say that, Mr. Forrester. There was a case that came up at the Old Bailey in 1935.
Oh, look, let's quit horsing around, will you? If you want to charge me, go right ahead. Only from where I'm standing, you haven't got enough evidence to pin a parking offense on me.
About this parcel, the bottle of Chianti. You say Miss Stewart took it to your flat for you to give to Carmichael.
I didn't. I said she brought the parcel with her because she was lunching with Carmichael, and she just forgot it, that's all. Why ask me? Ask Carmichael. At last, some service around here.
Sit down, Mr. Carmichael.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to subject you to questioning at this time.
Please, anything I can do to help find out who killed me? What can I tell you?
A parcel was delivered to Miss Stewart's flat the morning she was killed. Do you know anything about it?
No.
She was to have lunched with you that day.
That's right.
Well, our information is that she was to take this parcel to you to avoid delay in the post.
Extremely odd. I don't understand. What was in the parcel?
I was hoping you'd be able to tell me.
How How can I? I never received it.
You a wine drinker?
No.
Curious. The parcel contained a bottle of Chianti.
And it was addressed to me.
It wasn't addressed to anybody. Jill told
Are
me
you
that...
questioning me, or is Mr. Forrester?
Do you wish to say any more, Mr. Carmichael?
No.
You don't seem too sure.
I'd rather say no more. You've no time for guesswork.
I have time for anything you say. You knew Miss Stewart better than anybody.
Did I? I have no illusions about myself, Inspector. Perhaps I would have been a dullish husband for Jill, but I'd have done my best to make her happy. I have no illusions about Jill, either. She moved in bohemian circles. She was a sweet, generous girl. Many men must have admired her, wanted her. It's possible that one wanted her sufficiently to kill her when she broke it off with him after her engagement to me. It's not difficult to imagine the scene.
No, not difficult at all. Why not fill in the last detail, me?
Anything more I can tell you, Inspector?
Thank you. Interesting theory. How's it strike you, Mr. Forrester?
Oh, anything's possible.
Pride. Want to amend your statement now?
No, I've told you the
All
truth.
right. It's all for now. Have a nice lunch.
Thank you. Well, I must say that was a good meal, Dave. No wonder you always use this place.
Look, Tim, do you mind if I push off? I'm a bit late. I've got to pick up a load of asparagus from the continent.
Oh, sure. Well, take care of yourself in that flying freighter of yours.
Always do. Telephone, Mr. Forrester.
Thank you. Yes?
Mr. Forrester?
Yes, but I think you...
Dorking. Do you know the Fulham Road, Mr. Forrester?
Huh?
Well, my place is just off the Fulham Road, Saxon Street. Reg Dorking, second-hand car.
Look, I think you've got the wrong number.
Look, I have a car that may interest you, Mr. Forrester. A Mercedes Special.
What's that?
Second-hand, of course, but in excellent condition considering.
Considering what?
Well, when I got it, it was a complete wreck. Went over a cliff in Italy a few days ago. Absolute write-up it was. But you should see it now, or you'd never recognize it. Really, you wouldn't.
Look, give me that again, will you? I didn't...
I'm not gonna repeat myself. Are you interested, or aren't you? Make up your mind.
What you say your name was?
Reg Dorking. You've got the address. Saxon Street, off the Fulham Road. Bye for now.
Reg Dorking?
Yeah?
My name's Forrester. What's all this about my brother's car?
Your brother's car?
Yeah, the Mercedes, the one that crashed in Italy. How'd you come to get hold of it?
I've got news for you, Mr. Forrester. I haven't had a Mercedes in this showroom for 2 years now. No market for them in my end of the trade.
Why did you mention it then?
Would you have come here if I hadn't, Mr. Forrester? Cigar?
No, thanks. All right, let's have it. What do you...
What you want, I'd say, Mr. Forrester. Ghastly, horrible things, cigars. But they give a man a certain style, don't you think? Where were we? Yeah. I have a friend who's got something he says you'll pay £1,500 for.
Your friend must be nuts.
That's what I told him, but he assures me he isn't.
Who is this friend of yours?
He's an old school chum. We were expelled together.
What is it I want that's worth £1,500?
It's a postcard, Mr. Forrester. Card with a little drawing on it. A bottle of Chianti in a girl's hand. I shouldn't have thought it was worth 15 shillings, let alone £1,500.
Let's have a look at it.
Ah, now, there. I must admit you have me, Mr. Forrester. I don't happen to have it here at the moment. But then, I don't suppose you happen to have £1,500.
When will you have the card?
When will you have the money?
It might take some time.
With your connections? I shouldn't have thought so. Anyway, I'm afraid time's the one thing my friend can't afford. Tomorrow night?
All right.
Get here around 10. Hello? This is Dorking. bird has just departed. Or should I say the nightingale has just flown.
Tip-top condition, brand new tires, well, almost brand new. Absolute snip, old boy, absolute snip.
How many miles has it done?
15,000.
On a 1935 car?
Ah, he's a very economical owner, the chap who had this. Used to walk whenever he could.
Telephone engineer, sir.
Yeah, about time, too. Ratty thing's been driving me mad all morning. Can't get through at all. Bad for business, you know. Very bad for business.
Where is it, sir?
Through there. Help yourself.
Right, thanks.
Paint works, badly scratched.
What do you expect for 300? Gold leaf?
Is that you, Ted? Bill here. This is that special job on Fulham 8000.
Okay, you go ahead. I'll check it this end.
Okay.
All right, 250. I don't know what I'm saying, but 250.
250. Well, that is a little more in the neighborhood of what I had in mind.
You must live in a pretty crummy neighborhood.
Pity about that crack on the windshield, though.
Engineer.
Bill again. Try it now.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All good children go to heaven. Hear that?
Clear as a bell.
Right.
Okay, I'll get the book. Hello.
What's wrong with your phone? I've been trying to get you all the morning. I'm afraid I can't do anything about it this end, sir. I'll have to check at the junction.
All right, but get it going soon, will you? It's costing me money.
We'll do our best, sir.
See?
Come in.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Fenby.
Sorry to arrive unheralded. I've been out all day on the story.
That's all right. What can I do for you?
Is Dave around?
No, he's in Paris.
Oh, lucky chap.
Yeah. Can I help?
No, I don't think so. If it makes you feel any better, I'd like to say how bad we all feel at the office about your brother. He was a good scout, Lewis. Everybody liked him.
Evidently somebody didn't.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't believe Lewis was drunk when he was killed. And I don't believe his death was an accident either.
Dear chap, you're letting your imagination run away with you.
Am I? Did he ever send you a postcard?
Who, Lewis?
Yeah.
Yes, dozens.
Did he ever send you one with a Chianti bottle sketched on it?
Well, he was always sending strange cards to people. I don't recall anything like that. Why is it important?
It's worth £1,500. I guess that makes it important.
Don't think I quite understand.
You don't understand.
Well, I'd better be getting along. Tell Dave to give me a ring when he gets back, will you?
Okay.
He certainly gets around, that brother of yours. Do you know, we made Milan to London in 4 hours the other day. Lunch in Italy, tea in London. Amazing.
I thought you didn't get back until 9.
Oh, no, I was back in the office at 6. Well, be seeing you.
Yeah. Yes?
Colby here. We'll be round at your place in 10 minutes, all right?
I'll be ready.
Good.
Good, genuine enough?
Well, it isn't. And they've been counted, so don't get sticky fingers. All right, driver, pull up at the next corner, will you?
Yes, sir.
Now, we know a bit about this man Dorking. He's not as stupid as he looks, so watch your step. And try and find out who his friend is.
Right.
Righto, Sergeant, go ahead.
C4 to M2 MP. C4 to M2 MP. Come in, please. Over.
M2MP, M2MP, hello C4, hello C4. Already here, over.
All right, you can feed the GPO line in through this channel now. Over.
Come in. It's pretty cold tonight. Like a drink? Scotch or gin?
Neither.
Well, now, where were we?
Did you get
the card?
The card. Yes, of course. Well, I must confess I ran into a few snags there, old boy.
What do you mean?
Well, of course I did my best.
I wouldn't fall over backwards for £1,500, but my best, it seems, just wasn't good enough.
You mean you haven't got the card?
No, I'm afraid I haven't.
Mind you, I've nosed around. I've got a lot of contacts, but I just couldn't get a lead. Even if you'd offered me 15,000, I don't think I could have tried any harder.
Now, look here, Dorking, what is this? You contacted me. You told me you had the card. It was you who wanted £1,500 for it.
What a gross distortion of the true situation, if I may say so. As a matter of fact, the whole deal smelled a bit dodgy to me from the beginning.
What, I asked myself, could be on a card that's worth £1,500, and you know what? I just didn't know how to answer myself.
Look, here's the money, all 1,500 of it. Now, what about it?
My goodness. All that money. Now, you want to be careful, Mr. Forrester. It's not safe to be walking around with a load like that. You never know who you may run into.
Don't you twister.
Do you mind? I had the suit pressed this morning.
I haven't heard so many tall stories since I stopped reading Hans Andersen. People changing their clothes for no reason at all, photographs disappearing, paintings being rubbed out, a mysterious Mr. Smith who commissions you to do a portrait, then vanishes into thin air. It's too much, Mr. Forrester.
Maybe too much for you, Inspector, but it happens to be true.
Does it? Do you recognize this dress?
It's the one Jill was wearing.
The one you say you got from Smith?
The one I got from Smith.
This dress was bought by Miss Stewart from a shop in South Audley Street, Mr. Forrester.
That's impossible.
The shop identified the dress and recognized a photograph of Miss Stewart. There's no doubt about it.
Look, Inspector, I don't know what the answer is.
Now, you listen to me. My advice to you is to get yourself a good lawyer, because you're going to need one. Good night. Mr. Forrester, if you happen to meet Abraham Lincoln on the way home, keep it to yourself, will you?
Thank you.
Thanks, miss.
You're Tim Forrester.
Yes. Yes, I am. And you're...
Allison Ford. May I please come in?
Sure. You all right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sit down.
Just you relax until I get Inspector Colby over here.
The police?
Sure, why not?
You can't. Not the police. I want you to help me. I've tried on my own and failed. There's no one else I can turn to. Please, not the police.
What have you got against the police?
Nothing.
What have they got against you, then?
Nothing.
Why are you afraid? Why are you here?
Don't call them, please. I'll explain.
Have it your way.
Thanks. I was on a holiday in Italy with my father. We met Louis. We got on fine. Louis invited me to drive to Milan with him. My father said I wasn't to go. I got angry with him ordering me around, so I went anyway. Lewis told me he was digging up facts for a big story exposing a group of diamond smugglers. They call themselves the Arlington Ring. He said my father was one of them. I told him he was crazy. Covering that story, I said, well, you see smugglers everywhere. He insisted. I wouldn't believe it. Well, we had this terrible row. I saw red, made him stop the car and got out. It saved my life for sure. Car crashed and... I burned so badly they thought she was me.
Nobody miss her?
There's a lot of people alone in this world. Nobody misses them.
Go on.
I thumbed a ride into Milan and heard about the crash. I phoned my father's hotel to put his mind at ease. He'd left for England as soon as news of the crash got to him. Don't you see? Immediately I thought, my father knew that car was going to crash. The gang had fixed to kill Lewis. That's why he didn't want me on that trip. I slapped myself down. It couldn't be. It just couldn't be that my father was a crook. He just didn't want me to traipse all over Europe with a man I'd only known a few days. That's reasonable, isn't it?
Reasonable enough, except that you can't find him to ask him straight out.
There could be a million reasons he's left London without a forwarding address.
Name one.
He thinks I'm dead. So he wants to go away, not be bothered by anybody.
Yes, he could have left Italy for the same reason.
That's what I thought. So I came back here to find him. I can't. I can't anywhere.
You don't want to go to the police in case...
He's my father. I've got to give him a chance. When I find him, I hope he socks me for even thinking he could be a crook.
You know something? You've been alone too long and you need a meal.
Jim, there's something more I must...
Later. Food first. You need looking after, young lady.
I wouldn't say I was in love with Lewis, but I was very fond of him. As for marrying him, well, if you ever thought about it, I doubt if he'd have found time to ask me.
Allison, about your father, you never suspected anything until Italy and Lewis.
Well, this was the first time I'd seen him in years. My folks divorced when I was a kid. I went to America with my mother. She died about a month ago. He invited me over to stay a while. I know nobody else over here.
You know me now, don't you?
You find this, son?
Thank you. You'd like some wine, wouldn't you?
I'd love some Chianti.
Chianti?
A bottle of Chianti, son? Thank you.
Thank you. Why did you choose Chianti?
I like it. So did Lewis. We always drank it. In a cafe one day, just before he was killed, he made a drawing of me pouring a bottle. Well, of my hand, anyway.
Was this drawing on a postcard?
Oh, yes. How did you know?
Do you know who he sent it to?
The same man he sent lots of cards to, a man on the Gazette.
Fenby?
Yes, that's it. Is it important?
Yes, it is. Look, will you excuse me? I have an important phone call to make.
This is Tim Forrester speaking. May I speak to Inspector Colby, please?
Just a moment, sir.
No reply, sir. Shall I connect you with CID duty room?
No, thanks. Ask Inspector Colby to ring me first thing in the morning, will you?
Certainly, sir.
Thank you. Sorry about all that.
Thank goodness I made up my mind to come and see you. This is the most relaxed I've been since the...
Now, look, just forget all about that for this evening.
Can't forget about my father. How are we going to find him?
Well, we can't do anything about it tonight, can we? Let's worry about it in the morning. Come on, drink your wine.
What are you looking at?
Your bracelet. It's very attractive.
Thanks. It's fun collecting things for it. But I lose them just as easily. Just the other day I lost one, in the middle of all my other troubles.
Oh? What was it?
A little trinket I found in Italy. A bird cage complete with a little bird inside. Good night, Tim.
I don't like the idea of you staying in a joint like this.
I'll be all right.
Allison. Nothing. I'll pick you up first thing in the morning.
All right. Good night, Tim, and thanks for everything.
Good night.
Good night.
Allison. Look, you can't stay on here.
Why not?
Well, we're up against dangerous people. One girl's been killed already. Anything may happen.
It's just for tonight. We'll find my father tomorrow. I know we will.
I can't allow you to stay on here. Now, come on over to my place. You can have Dave's room.
No, I can't.
Go on upstairs and get your things. Now, you're checking out of here.
There's no need. I'll be okay.
This is Dave's room. It should be reasonably fit for human habitation. Well, come in. Make yourself at home.
Thanks.
Bathroom's up there on the right, and that's my room.
I know.
You know?
Tim, you're gonna hate me. I should have told you before, but
Should have told me what?
you've got to realize before I tell you I haven't been exactly myself these last few days.
Sure.
Tim, I've been here before. I came straight here when I first arrived in London. The door was open, like it is now. You're not very good at shutting doors, you know. So I came in looking for you to help me find my father. I saw the portrait in my photograph. I couldn't figure this. I started to look around and
Jill.
I saw that girl and... Oh, please try to understand, Tim. All I could think of was I mustn't be connected with this in any way. So I tore off the dress from the wire stand, that one there, and tried to rub out the face from the portrait. Your beautiful portrait. Tim, can you ever forgive me?
You poor kid. What you've been through. Of course, I forgive you easily. You know, you at least have explained a couple of things for the first time since this whole business started. I don't hate you. Not one little bit.
Thanks. I see you repaired the damage.
Yes, I've tried, but I couldn't get the eyes right. Now I can see what was missing from the photograph.
Now we've met, maybe you'll be able to complete it.
Yeah, maybe. Look, Allison, you've got to be sensible about this. Whichever way it works out for your father, you've got to go to the police. It's fairest on him and on you in the long run.
Probably right. Do something for me, Tim. Give me one more chance to contact him before you call them.
Well, I guess confessions are catchy. I've got one for you. I've already asked Colby to come around first thing in the morning. It's the best way, believe me.
I see.
Good morning. Like some coffee?
Hey, Caruso. It's your long-lost brother back from Gay Paris.
Not so loud, will you?
Look what I got for you.
Very funny. Hey, Dave. Hold it, will you?
What's the idea?
Well,
Look, Tim, I've been up all night. I need a bath and a change of clothes.
Yeah, well, look, you can't go in there. You use my room, will you?
Ah, so that's what all the singing's about. You will
few. Tell me, blonde, brunette, redhead?
It's not like that at all, Dave.
Sure. I know. You just talked about art. Okay, I'll use your room.
Hello. Yes, speaking.
Well, Mr. Forrester?
Look, I don't expect you to believe this, Inspector, but Allison Ford is here. She's alive, and she's right here in my flat.
How did she arrive, on a broomstick?
What's more, she knows who the card was posted to.
Santa Claus, no doubt.
All right, then why didn't you come over and ask her yourself?
All right.
Did I hear something about that card?
Yeah.
You know, that's been bothering me for days. Why is everyone so interested in a postcard?
Well, we'll soon know.
You know who's got it?
I do.
Well, tell me, for Pete's sake. The suspense is killing me.
Your pal Fenby.
No kidding. What's that, make him a villain or something?
Or something.
Well, what do you know? It just goes to show you can't trust no one these days. Look, Tim, you don't want me hanging around here. I think I'll get myself a hotel room for the day.
Oh, there's no rush, Dave.
Well, I'm more anything. Take it easy, kid.
Oh, take Mr. Smith's newspaper to him, will you?
Yes.
Excuse me, is that for Mr. John Smith?
Yes, miss. Room 14.
Thank you.
Don't waste time. My brother told me you had the card, and by this time the police probably know.
Look, I swear I haven't. You can search the place.
There's no time for games. Come on, get.
Please, Dave, if I still had it, I'd give it to you.
What do you mean if you still had it?
I posted it.
Don't lie to me or I'll brain you.
It's true, Dave. I swear it. I'm sick of the whole business. I never tried anything like this before, and I wish to heaven I'd never seen the card.
Where is it?
I sent it to your brother. It's his responsibility now. I'll go and see him.
You miserable little coward. You know all the names that were on that card, don't you, Fenby?
Oh, my dear girl, everyone said you were in the car with Louis Forrester. How can you do this to me? Why didn't you let me know you were all right? I begged you not to go with him.
Why? Did you know something was going to happen to that car?
Please, Allison, listen.
Only to the truth. Are you in the Arlington ring?
What? What do you mean?
Did you kill Louis?
What do you mean? What? Hello?
Oh, I'm sorry to trouble you, Mr. Smith. I know you especially asked for no calls to be put through, but this gentleman insisted you'd speak to him. The name's Nightingale. Mr. Nightingale.
Put him on, please.
Well, I'd better talk to her myself. Where is she?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
She was here last night, honestly, Inspector. She stayed in Dave's room, but she must have left early this morning.
I don't care what you say. I finished. I mean it. I mean it. It's my last word.
Father, what is it? Who was it? Tell me.
All right. What'd she say about this card?
She said that Louis had sent it to Fenby.
Fenby of the Gazette?
Yes.
If Alison Ford comes back, phone me at once.
Funny, I could have sworn he was in.
He's dead, all right. Not long, either. Call the doctor and the photographer. Get a fingerprint man, too. Use an outside phone. Know anything about this?
Who? Me?
Look, he's got 2 bullets in him. Did you hear anything during the last half hour?
Well, I did hear something. I thought it was the boiler.
See anyone come up here?
Well, when I went to look at the boiler, I did see a man going out of the main entrance.
What was he like?
I only saw kind of back view.
Well, describe that.
Could have been anyone.
What was he wearing?
I did notice one thing. When he went out, he took off his gloves. Struck me as odd. Well, you'd expect him to be putting them on, wouldn't you?
What were they like?
Very light. Pigskin or chamois or something like that.
Anything else?
No.
Go to the police. Tell them what you know.
You don't know what you're saying. The ring. They'd kill me. They'd kill me. I must go away. It'd be better if you'll never see me again.
Can I help you, sir?
Yes, sir. No, it's all right, thank you. Allison,
Oh, Tim, I was just going to call you.
you ran out on me.
Tim, he's here. It's true, and I can't get him to see the...
Well, maybe the police will succeed.
Oh, you can't. Please don't. He's through with the ring.
Sure, but are they through with him? Don't you see it's
Don't,
the safest
please
place
don't. You've
for
got
him?
to give him a chance.
Call an ambulance, quick. Someone's fallen from a window.
Father.
Right. Thank you, sister. You'll call me if there's any change. Thanks again. What are you doing here at this hour?
Waiting for your girlfriend to surface. I want the rest of my things.
What, at 7:30 in the morning?
Yeah. Tim, I'm leaving England. The charter business is not going too hot.
But I thought it was going great guns.
Oh, airplanes, you know, a funny business. Plenty of ups and downs.
Well, you know best, Dave, but this is a bit sudden, isn't it?
Oh, it's a sudden offer from South America. Nice weather, good money, senoritas, too good to miss. Thought I'd give it a try.
Where did you say you were going?
I don't know exactly. Somewhere in South America. It's sort of a roving commission. Kind of uncertain-like.
Dave, we've never interfered in each other's lives.
Yeah, so let's not start now, huh?
Okay. Well, if you want to get your things together, there's no one in that room now.
I'll have that card, Tim.
What?
That card, I want it.
What are you talking about?
Are you going to give it to me, or do I have to take it from you?
I'm giving this card to no one except the police.
Tim, my name's on that card. I'm in the ring.
I don't believe it.
Oh, for Pete's sake. All right, so I smuggle diamonds, so I make a few pounds on the side.
2 people have been murdered by the ring, Dave. One of them your own brother.
You think I had anything to do with that? You think I was asked, is it okay if we bump off your brother? All I do is fly stuff across the continent. I'm just a stooge in the game. You gotta believe that, Tim.
And Fenby. You knew Fenby had this card, Dave?
I didn't do that, Kim. I shook him up a bit, but I didn't kill him. Now hand it over.
There's nothing on it except Fenby's address and the drawing.
I mean it, Tim. Hand it over, or do I have to break you in two?
Dave, this is crazy. Come on, get up.
Now get this and get it straight. This card is the cause of 2 murders and a possible suicide. 3 murders if we count the unknown girl in Italy, and heaven knows how many more besides. Now, I don't know what you do with these things, but do it all, a dozen times over if necessary. X-ray it, atomize it, anything you like, but I want the secrets of that card and I want them fast. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Right, get going. We're very grateful to you, Mr. Forrester. And I'm sorry your brother had to get mixed up in a thing like this.
Thank you. But look, what's on this card, anyway?
Can't you make a reasonable guess, Mr. Forrester? Look, your brother Dave told you that his name was on it. He was in the smuggling racket. Now, my guess is that your brother Lewis wrote on that card in code or secret ink a complete list of the members of the Arlington smuggling ring.
But why send it to Fenby?
So that it would be in safe hands if anything happened to him. Well, something did happen to him. And Fenby's hands weren't any too safe. What a setup for a blackmailer. Having the screws and a whole gang of diamond smugglers.
With Dorking as the front.
Of course.
What I can't understand is, why did Dorking contact me?
Well, he must have got you mixed up with your brother Dave.
Then Fenby finds out. Finds out? Wow, I'm the one that told him what a dope I turned out to be.
No comment. Now, someone else finds out that Fenby has this card. So, Fenby is disposed of.
Yes, but by who, though? Who?
Maybe we'll soon learn who Mr. Nightingale is. And that way, learn everything. Meanwhile, we can only wait and see.
One thing I can't understand, Inspector. Who could have killed poor little Jill Stewart? And why?
Inspector Colby at once.
Does that answer your question?
It's fantastic.
A lot of ordinary people who do some strange things for money, Mr. Forrester. Quite a who's who of the underworld. They're all here. Few we've never heard of. Paletti, Grunthurst, Grutzahani, Smith, plus your old friend. Haynes? That's our man. Issue a general alarm, have him picked up.
Very good, sir.
Colby. Oh, when? All right, well, I'll leave it to you then. Thank you.
Dead?
They're taking his daughter back to your place.
Yes, all right.
Would you like me to come with you? No, thanks. I'll be all right. Tim, is that you? Tim? Who are you?
I'm a friend of Tim's. He said I could come over and borrow his camera. I don't seem able to find it, though. It doesn't really matter. I'll call back. Excuse me.
Haven't we met before? It was only for a moment. In Italy. My father introduced us.
Your father?
Yes, I'm sure.
Are you?
Absolutely. You know my father, John Smith. I'm Allison Ford, stage name. I remember telling you at the time we laughed about it. Do you remember now? Mr. Nightingale.
Miss Ford, of course. How ungallant of me to forget such a charming young lady. Forgive me. Charming. Like another young lady I knew. She also knew too much about me, and was unfaithful in addition. 2 good reasons for her departure. In your case, one reason is enough.
This is going to sting.
Hey, what are you trying to do, kill me?
You'll have to look after him, Miss Ford. He's had a pretty rough time lately.
Yeah, mostly at your hands, Inspector.
I wouldn't mind having this in my office as a memento. Is it for sale?
No, sir, it's not for sale.
Now, I wonder why not.
Allison, do you think you could stay until I finish the portrait?
How long will it take?
Years. A lifetime, maybe.
I think I can wait.